Missing reversals sucks. I mean, think of it in this way. Each time you click buy, price just continue to go down, or each time you click sell, it just continues to go up. But what if I told you that with a clear understanding of this reversal pattern, you can actually start catching reversals with a 90% win rate? Yes, you. I really mean you can become a master of trading reversals with high accuracy. So stick around and watch this video until the end. Did I just guarantee you success using my strategy? Well, I would like you to appreciate the fact that Forex is very risky and may not be suitable for all investors. If you want to learn strategies with tried and tested high win rates, consider subscribing to my channel right now and turn the post notification bell on. That way, each time I upload a new tutorial, you won't miss out. If you are a returning subscriber, big shouts out to you. Keep sharing my videos with friends and family. Okay, enough chit chat. Let's just get into the video already, right? So in today's lesson, I'm going to break down the anatomy of the head and shoulders pattern in a way that can try and simplify it so that you can easily understand it. All right, now for our head and shoulders pattern, as can be seen here in drawing, right? When we first get our first peak right here and price close below 13 EMA, you can see I labeled it the 13 EMA, right? Price first close above the 13 EMA, right? We know now we have our first peak. Now when price comes back to close above the 13 EMA the second time, and if we are to count the number of candle bodies, not just candles, but sometimes it can be wicks don't count, but we want to count the bodies of the candlestick, right? So when we then finally see that the number of candlestick bodies above the first peak, are more than 4, then already we know a head and shoulders pattern is coming, and it is no longer a type 3 double top pattern. Remember, we said a double top pattern is good the second peak slightly above the first. So if this second peak, right, if you are expecting a double top pattern to present, right, but instead you get more than 4 candles right here, then you know that it's no longer a double top pattern, but we are now expecting a head and shoulders pattern. So price will come back to close below the 13 EMA. You ignore this, you wait again for the second shoulder to present, and then you have your head and shoulders pattern. The opposite is also true for what? For an inverted head and shoulders pattern. This one will be an inverted shoulders pattern, and the number of bodies for this head, the number of candlestick bodies below this first peak will be more than 4, which means you get 5, 6, 7, 8 up to infinite. All right, so there will be more than just 4, and already we will know that a inverted head and shoulders pattern is actually coming on the way, right? So how about we try and identify this pattern using chart examples, right? So as you can see right here, we can all agree that following this first peak, right, you can see where I put this line. If we are to count the number of bodies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bodies below this, right, first peak, right, and we know we have our head. We wait for price to close below the 13 EMA again, close back above right here, and we can successfully take our entry. I'm not going to cover entries that much in this video, right, since this video is mainly for reversal patterns. I've got another whole tutorial where I will walk you through everything you need to understand when it comes to taking your entry. So today we're just focusing on these reversal patterns, right? and we see that the market quite reversed for a quite significant amount of time, right? We even see right here where we get our first leg, our second leg. If you still remember when we talked of the double bottom pattern, this is actually a double bottom pattern, not a head and shoulders pattern. I just wanted to point this one out to refresh your memory, if you may, right? So we get our first peak, our second peak, and we can take an entry right there. And if you still remember, we did a video where I talked about synthetic strategy, where I also talked about the moving average crossover entry technique, right? So it's also right here, you can see that we have a double bottom pattern right there. It close above 13 EMA, close back below, back above, and you can actually take your entry right here. So you can see that when you get this pullback to the 50 EMA using what we call the moving average crossover entry technique, if you enter right here, you could also actually realize quite a significant amount of profit. So you can see that you could have entered here, entered here, and entered here again 3 times, always realizing a profit. We have another one right here, right? We see we have got our first peak, right? And if we are to count the number of candlesticks, now this is now a head and shoulders pattern. In the previous example, we were talking of an inverted head and shoulders pattern. Now for a head and shoulders pattern, you can see we have your left shoulder, which is your first peak, right? And you get 1, 2. So right here you can see that I did not count these candlesticks. Why? Because remember I said weeks don't count, right? You don't count weeks because weeks don't matter. So you count both these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it gets below the level of this first peak. So already you know that a head and shoulders pattern is coming. But check this out. This is actually cool. When you're expecting your second shoulder, right? Remember you said we wait for price to close back above the 13 EMA, and check out, it doesn't close above the 13 EMA up until right here. And when it finally closes above 13 EMA, the second shoulder is actually presenting to us our moving average crossover entry technique. This is awesome, guys, as you can see. So you have your left shoulder, you have your head, and then your right shoulder, which is presenting right as our moving average entry crossover technique. Right, here's another one, an inverted head and shoulders pattern. We get our first right peak right here, right, and then we get a bunch of candles, quite a bunch of candles. They are more than 4. I don't have to count. You can actually see that they are more than 4, right? We get our close above the 13 EMA, and then our second one, you can take your entry right here. Or if you want to be a bit conservative, because what I find out is taking these entries off these reversal patterns will actually make you encounter quite a huge number of false signals. But if you wait for this type of entry that we talked about, which is the moving average crossover entry technique, right, this one is a much better or a much safer entry than this one, right? It's just a tip for you, right? So you get your reversal, you get your pullback, right? You enter right here as soon as price close above 13 EMA, and then you are also good to go. Please guys, don't just take my word for it. You can go ahead and test this stuff on your own. Don't just take my word for it. Go test this stuff out on your own. It really works. I can guarantee you that it really works. Guys, I don't know how many times you want me to keep saying this to you. Check here again. You have your first peak. You have quite a number of candlesticks. Price close below the 13 EMA, right? And you know you have your head, you have your shoulder, you have your head. Price close back above the 13 EMA right here, and it close back below the 13 EMA, and you can also take your end. This is we are not trying to complicate anything, guys. We are just following easy steps. If you follow these easy steps without trying to add more complicated stuff, I know you guys like learning too much complicated stuff, but I tell you, the money is actually in these basic things if you might want to view them in that way, right? Because I know for a lot of you might say this is just way too basic stuff, but I can guarantee you, if you go and check out my Instagram page, right, at Money Downloaders, right, with a Z at the end, you will also find out that all those results that I have posted there, I've managed to get them using these basic stuff, if you might want to call it that way. Guys, it's that basic, it's that simple if you want to view it in that way, right? It's that basic. So you take your entry right there and you actually realize a profit. Again, I said I'm not going to cover much on entries since this video is more on reversal pattern, but I figured out that some people might be curious on where exactly am I supposed to be taking an entry. So I just marked out where you're supposed to take an entry for stop losses and take profits. Today I'm not going to cover that. That is a whole new topic, right, that I will have to do and walk you through on that one. Today we're just covering reversal patterns. Again, this is an inverted head and shoulders pattern. We can see that we have your first peak when price first close above 13 EMA, it closed back below, right? And you see we have a bunch of candlestick patterns and price close above the 13 EMA. You wait for it to close back below and see the only time where it then finally closed above the 13 EMA is right here, and you can take your entry, right? You have your moving average entry crossover technique playing out right here, and if you also want, you can add another entry. This is another one, guys. I'm not making this stuff up. You can see that we have got your head more than 4 candles, right? Price closed below 13 EMA. The only time it closes back above is right here, and the following candle it closed back below 13 EMA. You can take your entry right there. We have your pullback to this 50 moving average, right? And you can take another entry right here following using our moving average entry crossover technique. Guys, don't just take my word for it. Go and try to implement these things. It might be on a demo account, or maybe you're just scrolling your charts, seeing how much this stuff works, and record the win rate, right? If you see this pattern and doesn't work out, right, record it as a loss. If you see it plays out, record it as a win. And then I want you to calculate your win rate. You will actually see that most of the times, right, more than 90% of the times, when you get this reversal pattern, it actually works out and you realize a profit. So in the meantime, you can watch more of my content that is being displayed on your screen.